Okay, thanks for Hey, everybody.
Hi, Angel. We live.
We're live.
Fantastic. Thanks for hosting this little
It
Ask
keeps
Me
getting
Anything.
stuck. I wasn't sure at first. Of course, Nate. We haven't done anything together in a while.
No, for a long time.
I mean, like on screen.
And I was hanging out for some sales and some talking to my friends. You know, it's my favorite time of the week.
All of our buddies in Pam's sale. Oh, crap.
Who's here? My chat's really small. I can't quite read it.
LaDonna saying to get ready for a roasting. It should be like Katie. Okay, first is Elderly Poodle. Hi.
Severely fun. Hi, Poodle.
And then we got Susan Jackson.
Hey, Susan. Thanks for coming along.
And then Lydia's here.
Oh, hi, Lydia. Did Lydia reach her 1,000 subscribers tonight?
I don't think so. I think she had, I think it was 15 more or so.
Wow. Won't take long for that.
Close, so make sure to subscribe to Lydia if you haven't subscribed yet. And then we have Virginia's here.
Hi, Virginia.
And Soulmate. LaDonna. And Mars.
Hi, LaDonna. Hi, Mars.
Yep, that's where the mushroom's at. And your buddy Gazer. Gaza.
Gaza. Hey, buddy.
We got the Everyday Crafter, which I believe is Jean.
Oh, that's a new person to me. Hi, Jean. Welcome in.
And we got Poodle again. And there's my friend Kim.
Hey, Kim. Is that your real life friend, Kim?
Yep, that's my real life friend.
Hi, Kim. You'll have to tell us some gossip about Ange, about our angina.
Oh, she's seen me in many a situation to gossip. We have Leanne stay.
Leanne, I told Septiland the elephant arrived just the other day, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Leanne bought me this fantastic Boyd's elephant, which is just spectacular.
Oh, you
hey,
got
cutie,
it.
Chad. Hey, cutie.
Hey, Chad. And Robin.
Robin Cormier. Hi, Robin.
And Nancy.
Oh, my friend Nancy Smith. Hi, sweetheart.
And for Sandy's Lilacs.
Hi, Sandy. Thanks for being here.
And Christy.
Hi, Princess.
Princess Gaza. And Karen.
Hi, Karen. Nice to see you. I love that Daisy.
And Rebecca Higgins.
Oh, Rebecca, Bex, Naomi. Hi, sweetheart. Lovely to see you.
And Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Welcome in.
Susan, what? Yeah, for
ever
2 years, at least. I can't remember if it's 3 or 2 years, but I think my oldest video says 2. So
I just saw China's.
Make sure you subscribe then. Thanks.
I'm here. Bah. Let's get this question session started.
Patricia Wishon. Debbie Gutierrez.
Hiya, Debbie.
See, she's a good friend. She said she won't tell secrets.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta catch up. It keeps disappearing. 1 sec. And Gina, which I'm nervous about. From Southern Siren. I'm gonna follow your intuition. Nate is incognito. That's
Yeah,
the bust that was made from his likeness.
yeah, yeah. I've got a face for radio.
Hey, Robin
So,
Summers. I haven't seen you in a long time.
oh, Robin. Hi,
Hi.
God, it's been a minute. Hiya, Robin.
See, Susan Jackson wants to know what's the first line of Pride and Prejudice name.
Susan's been wanting me to recite Pride and Prejudice for ages, and I started it. I started reading it, and I was absolute rubbish. It was absolute rubbish, and I thought I'm just going to ruin it for her.
Sure, you can just read it, and we can read the phone book, and we're fine with that. Yeah, that's vintage now too.
It wasn't good.
I think we're all caught up. And Sandra Smith.
Hiya, Sandra. What does Poodle say? I'm going to ask which one of you has fallen into a hedge on a Saturday night. Yeah, definitely I have. Definitely.
I haven't fallen into a bush.
Oh, Cinders is here. Cindy is here as well. Hi there. Sandra Smith. Hi. Yes. It's a hard read. Yeah.
Crystal's Drive-Through.
I didn't find it so much as a hard read as just a painful one to hear myself read it aloud.
All right, so seems like some people already have some questions prepared. So
yeah, I'm
let's hear them.
Nervously waiting what Gina's got to ask. Hey, Pickle.
Hey, Delbert.
Which one has worn a lampshade at a party? I don't think I've ever worn a lampshade on my head at a party. I don't think so.
No. I was going to say, Katie knows what that means. Maybe Katie has.
I had a patty cake.
Yeah, lampshade on your head.
Oh, Susan. And they could read instructions on how to clear a toilet with a plunger. We would be excited.
I mean, honestly. Like, you could just say anything, basically.
Hi,
Susan Rome. Hey, Susan Lynn.
Romy is here as well.
Nate, when did you graduate high school?
Oh, that's a really interesting question.
Did they have high school back then?
Yeah. But I am a high school dropout. I am a total high school.
To get started on his modeling career.
I couldn't confirm or deny that, but yeah, I went to a what's considered a very good school, probably the best school in the country, and it was just not a good fit for me. My brother, on the other hand, absolutely loved it, but I left school and home when I was 15.
Delbert has a question.
Jim. That's really interesting, Dilbert, because Lindy Chamberlain, my ex is Lindy Chamberlain's cousin, and that caused a lot of issues within the family of those who believed her and those who didn't. And of course, she was acquitted finally after spending a lot of time in jail and got an absolutely enormous payout from the government. Do you know which famous piece of literature was used as an example by Jim Morrison? Jim Morrison from The Doors? No, I've got no idea. What's the answer to that?
Me neither.
You have to fill us in. What is Marcia's? What was your worst job? Oh man, I've had some pitiful jobs.
I think my worst.
Yeah.
No, I think my worst. One of my first jobs was working, like trying to find any kind of work, because I finished high school early, and so I was just trying to work until like our graduation, and I ended up working at this like survey company, like in the mall. So you go and you try to stop people, so like market research, and you try to stop them to take surveys, and they get paid for it or get some kind of incentive out of it. But at that, like, I wasn't good with wanting to just talk to random people. Like, you know.
I worked in hospitality a lot when I first left school, and I then worked in communications. I worked in alarm monitoring places. None of them were particularly bad jobs. I probably stayed too long in all of them, and at some stage ended up disliking them. My last job was in the arts. I was an arts manager in Australia, in Sydney, and I did that for about 18 years, 17 years, and first for a theatre company and then for a chamber music organization. And working in the arts is like working a pit of vipers. There are some really, really nasty people working in the arts, I've got to tell you.
So Gina, I have my big owl brooch on that I got from you. It says, if you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would it be?
Wow.
I defer to you first.
I tell you, I have an absolute fascination with movies that have the topics of cat burglary and art theft. My favorite movie of all time was Thomas Crown Affair, and I've got books and books on stolen works of art, and one's called The Museum of the Missing, which is about missing pieces of art. I've always had this fascination with that, so I would be an art thief, I think. But that's a great question.
I know. I watched, like, I used to watch a show, White Collar, and like you see him do a lot of art imitations and art things, and they're always like thinking of some way of, making like a reproduction that matches, or like sneaking off of. So that as well, like what Nate said, I think, just because art interests me, and you're like, how could I pull that off? When you watch the things.
I've always been fascinated with that. There was an artist, not a particularly successful artist, who very successfully forged, I don't know, a dozen or more Vermeers than they were ever known to exist. And I found his story really fascinating too.
It says, "Is will you marry me a question? Who will ask that tonight?" From Karina.
I think somebody already did.
We got one right here. I knew this is just going to be a night of proposals.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll marry you, and it's a done deal. Susan was the first to ask, and I've never been proposed to. I've always wanted it, but I've never been proposed to. When do we get to see you, Nate? Mary, it's not worth seeing, to be honest.
Stop.
And the mystery's
It's
better.
Adorable.
I promise the mystery is better.
Virginia, I believe this is the reference. The Rubaiyat by Omar Khayyam.
Do I have that? I might just have that book.
Karina, I love most surveys. $8 in a hot pocket. Just like, but when the mall is empty, and it's just like, okay, this is not. I know I need to be doing more something. Leanne says, "How old are you?"
how old am I? I am, I lose track a little bit. I am 54, I think. I think I'm 54.
I know, I always forget too.
Yeah, 54.
Nate's worst job was to show me how to speak with an accent. I know, he always says mine is dreadful.
I don't know why anyone would want to speak with a New Zealand accent. Favorite car? Well, interestingly enough, I don't drive. I don't drive. I never learned to drive. When I left home, I lived in the middle of the city in Auckland, and having a car was a total liability because there was never any parking. People who I knew had cars were constantly getting tickets, parking tickets. And it would have been my father who taught me to drive. And as I could barely stand to be in a room with my father, I certainly didn't want to be in a car with him teaching me to drive. So I never learned to drive. So to this day, I don't drive. Some people drive and others are chauffeured.
When I was in high school, I wanted the Subaru Impreza WRX because that's what all the cool guys drove. And like the little, they raced around in the little cars. And I was like, I want to get one of those too. But now I'm at the point, I just want a running car that is not, someone doesn't hit me. That's why I liked my SUV because I was like, okay, it's a lot better, sturdier. Well, that went out the window. So right now I'm in the van, but that's not the goals. But, right now I'll take a running car over having nothing. So,
yeah. Although I must say, I did have a favorite car when I was younger, and it was a type of VW called a Carmen Gear, and it was like a VW sports car. It had beautiful lines. So if you've ever known what a VW Carmen Gear looks like, or Google that, that's a beautiful car.
Also the car, I can't remember what is a Chevelle or from that Dean drives in Supernatural. That black, like, classic car. Like that one too. Hey, Georgia.
Oh, thanks, Debbie. Your voice is dreamy.
Dana said she would wipe out the Smithsonian for her perfect crime.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I've been hearing things about the Smithsonian and some dark stuff, some weird stuff that's going on with them.
Karina said they found a stolen Van Gogh or recovered.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
And Virginia said you made like the movie The Monuments Men.
Look, it's on my list. It's on my list to it's on my list to watch that movie. I've heard really good things about that.
Nate, then you could get Katie to front it and sell Saturday nights.
You can get Katie to front it and sell. What is that? Sorry, what does that mean?
I'm confused which question we were talking about then.
I'm not sure, what the context of that one was. Sorry, Gaza.
Okay, I'm going to ask. I told you. Gina, of course, had asked this.
And said to me, someone's going to ask this question.
Do what we prefer on ourselves or the opposite?
and she said boxers or briefs, or do I go commando? And I said to her, thong. So you have covered all of those bases.
I confirmed. That's Nate's answer.
But I wear boxer briefs.
I'm a regular schmegular girl. Okay. Yeah. No, on natural. No thanks. Okay, we got another boxers or briefs. Oh, and then there's another proposal.
I couldn't marry Christy if I'm marrying Tim and Susan. Could I?
And Pam.
I am Pam.
You're just a polygamist over here.
Where should we move? Utah? Is that where? Is that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you, Gaza. Yeah, I
Joan
commit the crime
is
and
here.
Katie sell the goods. Oh,
When are
Joan
you going
Clavier,
to come
hello.
see Katie and the rest of us?
Well, Katie's planning on coming over and having a visit here for I think a couple of months next year. I have been to the States several times and I did really enjoy it, but the problem is that I could only get a visa to the US to stay in the US for 30 days. That's all the American government will supply the time for a visa. Whereas if you come to New Zealand, you could actually stay for something like 9 or 10 months or something like that. Yeah, it would be difficult to get to the States and to see everyone. I might, if I can get it, I might have to actually go somewhere and have people come to me.
I read this question and I thought it's a dashboard height. And I was like, is that the question for me? I know Nate's taller than me, but I might be under a dartboard height. Honestly, I don't. I'm 5'3".
I'm going to Google that. How tall is a regulation dartboard? Okay. Okay. That's 5 feet 8 inches. Yes, I am taller than that. I am
not.
Oh wow! I'm 5'11", so just under 6.
Measures himself. Georgia said, Nate, have you read Estelle Ryan's Dr. Genevieve Leonard series, all about art thefts and retrieved?
Nope, I've never heard of it, but I'm going to now.
Yeah,
Estelle Ryan.
Gotta make a note of that.
I
and Mars said, what do you personally collect?
What do I personally collect? I've got lots of collections, Mars. I have a collection of shipwreck porcelain that I'm very fond of. One shipwreck's about 1520. Another's about 1735 around. Another one is 1812. I have a collection of pre-Columbian burial wine ewers. I have a huge collection of sterling, English sterling silver. I have a collection of first edition books. I've got a collection of Notgeld, that's German emergency money. I have a collection of gemstones, and I have so many collections, Mars, just so many collections. I'm probably missing out something, but those are my major ones.
Well, I feel like if we're in this community, most of us don't collect one thing. We're a collector of collections. So, like, I have butterflies and deer. There's deer everywhere, and then I started collecting crewels. So there's a big piece there, and on this opposite wall here, I have a bunch, and then swing vases, flower frogs. Some are not on purpose. I have some brass. But Katie likes to call this the woodland forest, but it's more like a jungle because there's like giraffes, elephants, like there's ocean animals. It's all the things, all the animals. So besides cats, but yeah, with lots of collections.
If I marry Susan and Tim, I could become a citizen. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Favorite chauffeur?
Who's my favorite chauffeur? Probably my best friend, Belinda. My closest friend I've had for about 30 years is this wonderful woman called Belinda, who I love very much.
Nate, I give you my car if you'll cook for me.
I will cook for you without the car because the car would be wasted on me. But I'm always happy to cook for anybody because I love cooking.
I had to think about this because I just don't think about it. I'm 37.
And you don't look a day over 14.
Yeah. It's just this round face. I can see me. Yeah, literally, I said hello, so. One sec. Comments keep disappearing. All right. What is your favorite thing to do outside of the vintage antique community and sales?
Cook, probably. I really love cooking. I used to read a lot. I used to read about, I don't know, 7 or 8 books a week. I used to read so much, but I have developed cataracts, and I'm struggling with reading now. So it's quite sad. It's really upsetting that I can't read as much as I really almost anything at all now. But I'm hopefully getting surgery on those soon. So yeah, I really love cooking. Really love reading. I like music, listening to music as well.
I like fashion. I used to be like super follow all the stuff and knew who all the models were. Even though maybe you can't tell. But and then also cooking, but don't have a ton of time to do it. And I, like Nate, I used to read a lot more. My goal for this year, because last year I think I read 2 books, and so my goal for this year was 2 books a month. And I think yesterday I finished my 15th book.
Wow.
For the year so far. And I'm trying to read like 2 at a time, like listen to an audiobook in the car or like when I'm out, and then when I'm at home, read like the physical book. So I'm reading The Little Paris Bookshop, and I'm listening to The Silent Patient, which my friend Lauren told me about the other night.
Are you going to read those ones that Bron recommended to you?
Oh, yes, I read The Seven Sisters. That was the one that was like over 1,000 pages. And I was like, I can't read this whole thing that fast, because I checked it out from the library. And so I screen recorded it on my phone because I was reading the digital version. So then I was able to go back and just read the book through the screen recording. So I liked it. So I have the second book in my want to read. But yeah, I'm trying to clear some of these books out of here. Like, this is all books.
I think there's about 7 in the series. Yeah. And my sister-in-law, my mother, just loved that series.
Let's see.
Angela, are you married, Angela? Do you have children?
Pass. No to both of those. I am not married, and no children for me, please.
Let's be interested if someone asks me that question.
Yeah, Nate has like 6 kids. Jeez.
Could be a shocking answer if someone asked me if I did.
Do you lounge in a blue velvet smoking jacket?
Do I lounge? It's my
and only that.
My velvet smoking jacket is green. So yes, I do.
Oh, Katie could sell your goods, like if you were the art thief.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. If you had to identify yourself as a desert, what would it be and why? I'm unsure as to how I could actually identify myself with a desert.
Something, a dessert.
Is it a dessert? See, that's why I'm so fucking blind.
I'm like the Sahara. No.
Oh, man, I'm
stupid. Because Nate would be something very fancy. So what is it?
I'm stupid as well as blind. Dessert.
You're not stupid.
I really don't eat sweet things very much. Often when I go out to a restaurant for dinner, I would have an entree for my entree, although you call a main course an entree over there, which I never actually understand. I would have an appetizer. I would for my first, and for my main course, I would have 2 appetizers, and for dessert, I would have an appetizer as well. So I really think that chefs put a lot more effort into those appetizers and entrees, and they're so much more interesting. But if I had to pick a dessert, wow, oh man, I don't know, to be honest.
He's a tiramisu. It's got those lady fingers.
Oh man, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I couldn't even think of one off the top of my head. I so really eat sweet things.
I
How
can
tall?
say a lemon cake because I'm sweet and sour.
Right, yeah, okay.
That's all I could think. When
Way
Katie
back.
visits, you guys can do shows from New Zealand.
Yeah, we might well do. We might well do that. What color are my eyes? My eyes are a pale blue. I was told I had very pretty eyes when I was young.
Nate, what is your taste in music?
I like lots of music. I like jazz and blues. I like gospel. I like classical music. Nothing too atonal or anything. No Shostakovich. I like opera. I like some popular music as well. That's yeah. My favorite food. And what's your favorite type of music? What before we move on to food?
I listen to so many. I don't listen to much music actually. Just whatever is on at work. Because in the car I'm listening to an audiobook or just like whatever's on Spotify. But I listen to everything. I like rock and like some pop. Like I used to listen to all the '90s R&B growing up. I listen to basically everything but country, and nothing
Yeah.
against it. It's not my go-to, but I have country songs that I like. So there's a playlist on my Spotify. It's like the country songs are segregated together, but mostly rock stuff.
I tell you what, if I find a piece of pop music that I like modern pop music that I like, I'll go to YouTube and I'll go and see who covers it. And almost inevitably, almost every time, I find a cover version of that song that I prefer than the original singer. I love doing that.
What's your
My
favorite food?
favorite food. That's at the moment. It would be a boiled prawn dumpling. I love dumplings. I've just really gotten into having boiled dumplings. I love them. I love duck. I make a duck rillette, which is like a coarse pate of duck, which is really fantastic. Yeah, it's hard. Which are my favorite children? Really, I just love. I love food. What I love doing is if I go out to a restaurant, usually a foreign culture restaurant, if I find something that I like, I will come home and I will YouTube the hell out of it, and I will learn how to cook it. That's what I really enjoy doing.
Nate likes his 3-hour salads.
Katie, I do have a particularly good salad recipe, which Katie loves, and Katie's cooked for a lot of people, and she says that they all love it. And it did the first time take Katie and I 3 hours to do it, but that included the shopping, and she had a problem with her oven as well. But I do make a mean salad.
My favorite is Mexican, Italian.
Oh, I love Mexican food.
I swear, like Italian is in my soul. Like I love all the things, and the same with Mexican food. So good.
I see elderly poodle. I'm a bit back in the chat. Many people are jealous of Belinda. How old's Katie? Katie
is
28?
26, 28, something.
28. I think she's 28.
Oh my gosh. It's too fast.
Nate, put together a collection of your favorite recipes and have Katie sell them. God, I don't think anyone would buy my recipes.
Have like cooking with Nate, and they'll be like, "This is what Nate likes to cook," and they could cook it for themselves.
Katie has done some cooking with me, and I've directed her doing some cooking, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. But I don't know if anyone would want to buy. He doesn't clean up after himself. Wow.
Susan Jackson says, "Who was y'all's first YouTuber to watch consistently?"
God, that's a good question. Out of this sort of community, I would have been George. I think at the Antique Nomad. I really like George. I really like the information.
I think the first person I saw was Jocelyn from Crazy Lamp Lady. And then somehow Pam's sale popped up one night, and I was like, what is this? Someone's selling live? And then I got introduced to everybody else.
I watched briefly a woman, very attractive woman. She had quite a few tattoos. She would go out thrifting with her mother, and she was out one day and she picked something up and said, "Oh, George the Antique Nomad would know what this is." And I thought, "Oh, okay, I'll find him." And that's how I stumbled onto here. George,
lady?
I can't remember her name, to be honest. I can't really remember her name. George says, "I like to hear what's for dinner." You like to hear when I say that what I'm having for dinner?
A Nate cookbook would be fabulous.
I'll have to get onto that.
Oh,
you'll have to talk to my agent, elderly poodle, cooking naked with Nate. Oh, you never cook
naked. There we go. Karen asked the question we all want to know.
Yeah, I have been married. Yes.
How does LaDonna? Okay.
Yeah, I have been married. I was married a long,
hey, Sally, thrifter, not hoarder.
Hey, Sally. Yep, I was married. And I don't have any children.
Tim and Sue. What is your favorite hobby?
I love shopping. I love collecting things. I just love adding to my collections. Yeah, we have a really good auction house here, and I get some great things from the auction house. I really like art. I'm actually going to start painting. I'm going to start painting. I bought myself some acrylic paints, and I'm going to start painting. I don't think it's going to be good, but I'm going to give it a go.
A favorite hobby used to be photography. I did that a lot. But basically just crafting, whatever. Just trying to experiment and make things, reuse things. We do them, just like to tinker around.
Yeah. Shelley. Is that Shelley Casey Walker? Yep. Both Angela and Katie have seen me.
Too much of me.
Are you talking about that you has the length of time or the amount of me that you've seen?
Both.
Both.
Seen too much, if you know what I mean. No,
yeah. Ange did see me in my underpants once. That's.
I was like, excuse me.
That's an actual fact that Ange has seen me in my underwear.
Oh no. Nate has a very sexy voice. Yes, he does, but he doesn't think though.
It's a cringy one.
Hey, Annie P.
Oh, Annie P.
It's an OG.
Annie's not heard my voice before. Yeah, I've known Annie for a long time. Yeah, this is me. This is what I sound like.
Let's see. Hey, Connie Emmerich.
Oh, is Connie here? Hi, Connie.
Christy said, Nate, when you were in Texas, where did you eat Mexican food?
I was at a conference when I was in Texas for work, and I was in San Antonio, and it was all catered for, and it was okay. But the best Mexican food that I've ever had was in Sydney, in Australia. There was a time when I had such white bread taste in food. I would never have anything spicy at all. I just couldn't cope, and I worked with a woman, and there was a restaurant that opened up. It was called Mexico. She had gone along there and said it was great, and she kept on bothering me to go along to this restaurant, and I said, I don't want to. I can't eat hot food. I don't like that. I don't want that. At the stage, I thought a taco was refried beans and iceberg lettuce and sour cream, and I just didn't want to have a part of it. And we finally went along to this restaurant, and I've never tasted anything so good. It was hot, and I was rocking backwards and forwards and sweating profusely, but I loved it, and I've never looked back in my eating or my cooking.
Yeah, Katie and Jeffrey just have been hanging out because he moved to Florida, so they're a couple hours away from each other, so we get to hang out sometimes. And how did Nate meet Katie?
God, it's been so long. I think had been watching George's things, and Patrick from Trusty Huckster had put something in his in the chat there that he wanted to talk to me, and if I could give him my email address, which I did. You know, anyone can have my email address, and he had approached me about doing a show with him, and I sort of said, "Oh, look, I'm not going to go on camera. I can't do that." But we did do some stuff together. I moderated for a long time in his sales, and then we did the triptych series where we did these sort of deep dives into various
Tales from the Triptych.
Which I did actually. I did enjoy doing it, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. I found it really stressful, and very few people came to him. So we sort of packed that in. And somewhere along the way of meeting up with Patrick, I met up with Katie, and Katie's a wonderful person. Katie's just a lovely, lovely person. Oh, I love Thai food too, Dana.
Susan, someone asked why we can't see you, and Susan replied, "You can't see Nate like you can't look at an eclipse." I was going to say something along those lines, like Medusa. You can't just look at her gorgeousness.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Our vintage and antiques, something that people, have people appreciate in New Zealand as they do here.
That's a great question. The antique sort of scene here in New Zealand has never been big. It's never been big. It was much bigger in Australia. I used to go to a monthly antique market. I even sold there, and it was huge and it was amazing. I think that we have Auckland's the biggest city here. It's a 1.5 or 1.6 million. I think there's about 4 antique shops. People are just not into antiques, or they buy more online. And of course, like everywhere else, brown furniture, good Georgian furniture is so undervalued. People want to buy IKEA furniture at the same price that falls apart, after a year. So I don't think there's a great appreciation for antiques and collectibles here, to be honest. No, I'm not in a relationship. Now, I had a 20-year relationship that ended about 10 years ago. and that sort of ruined me a little bit. So no, I'm not in a relationship, and I haven't even had any pants action since since my last relationship. So
Over or
not only am I chaste, I am single.
abstinent.
Yeah.
I don't. Let's see. So, Nate, we should show your surprise.
Okay. Okay, we should. Should we? Jennifer Miller says TMI. Okay, Jennifer. join my convent. Sorry, Jennifer. I'm sorry if that was too much information for you.
Okay. We're gonna show Nate's surprise now. Let's see if I can get it up here.
Oh, Babs, you're here. Hi, Babs and Bundo. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought I worded that in a very delicate way. Chafed instead of chased.
Nate, it's saying you're muted.
Oh, I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It was just the line was coming up and then all of a sudden it reappeared. Okay. All right. I don't know. Okay. So there's the window. Let me switch over. Okay. Flagging, Nate, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I was just checking because it was like really quiet. Okay. Nate has got some things up or he's creating a shop here on Teespring.
Yep, I am. I'm going down the merch line, and I'm not really ready to launch it yet. So this is a soft launch for y'all. But yeah, I've created some things on Teespring, and I talked about it, and we said, well, we'll show some people what's actually there.
At the moment. Let me see.
So these are the notebooks. I mean, I honestly, I don't know if people still use notebooks anymore. I love using notebooks.
Me too.
So I did create these notebooks using some antique photographs and these close-ups of gemstones and minerals and things, which is another crazy thing that I love. I just love gemstones and minerals. Hiya, Val M. So yeah, these are some of them. I'm
gonna try to show you like the shell notebook or the fossil.
Oh, the Ammonite fossil book, yeah. So these are just notebooks on Teespring, but I wanted to go for something a little bit different than a lot of the Teespring offerings, and these are things that I'm interested in. I'm interested in gems and minerals, and wood and wood grain, and also antique photography, which we'll show you a few of. And some of them I think are really quite nice. I mean, there's phone covers for I think any type of phone that you want. So this is the Ammonite one.
I'll show you some of the phone cases. And his shop is named Petrichor.
Yeah, Petrichor, the smell of rain. I don't know if you know that that's what the smell of rain is called. It's called Petrichor. When you go out and you smell the sidewalk after rain, it's
I just love these malachite phone cases.
Yeah, the malachite ones are really beautiful.
They're just different, than what you can find when you're looking for phone cases. And he's got a bunch of different kinds of phones. options, the models. I mean, so you can find a phone case for anybody.
Yeah, I think the opal one there turned out really nicely, and there's sort of mixed gemstones, old books, which I thought was just another cool.
Yeah, I really like the old books. Like here's I like these. You can see more of the pattern.
There's a fur one there. I think that's
the
Louis
coat.
Yeah, or it could be. I could have got it from a mink coat.
Let's see. Notebooks.
Do you want to go through some of those notebooks and see if we can look at some of the photography ones?
Yeah.
Because some of the photos of them are really cool.
So he said, love the malachite. Susan Jackson says she loves wood. Hey, Val M. Magic Mike Mohammed, though. Okay. But they said March, yay, and they'll buy it. I need a new phone case. Love books. Okay.
Should we take ourselves off the screen? Can you do a full screen of that? And maybe that it can show a little bit larger.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, and then I gotta swap this over. Did switch? No.
Oh, Bab says she's journaled for years. I love journaling.
Sorry, it's not switching.
Have you got those tabs in the same window that you're currently on? Or is it a completely different window?
See, now I'm super confused. No, it's in a separate tab.
No, in a different window. If you put those tabs into a different window rather than the window that we're actually streaming from.
Oh.
Why don't you sell mineral stone jewelry? I have sold sterling jewelry. I sold quite a bit of amber. I did try and sell some stones, some faceted but unset gemstones, but they weren't particularly popular. I can find jewelry with gemstones in it, but they are quite expensive, and I'm always a bit nervous that people won't be interested at that price point.
Okay, Ryan.
That looks good. Actually, that looks pretty good, and Patricia loves handcuffs.
Let me just separate it. Okay, so okay.
Yeah, I know you love them too, Patricia. I have an absolute fascination for
gemstones. I just switched to the t-shirts. Okay, let me switch.
The t-shirts actually need a little bit of work. That they're ever so slightly above the limit for the size of the files, so I have to go in and do some work on those ones.
Okay. This should be coming up in just a sec. This thing, Teespring is not the fastest. Can you guys see the notebooks?
No, nothing is coming up, unfortunately. Why? What made you decide to majorly sell brooches? I had a lot of brooches. I had a collection of costume jewelry, and there are benefits to it as well. The packing, Katie so kindly does all of my packing for me, and it is just so much easier to mail out brooches and jewelry than porcelain and china and glass and things. Okay, that's looking great.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't even showing me that it was up there, so I was like, okay. Let me go down to some of this photography.
Yeah, I put this young Victorian boy or girl because, you know, they dress their boys in dresses up until they're about 6 or something. But again, I thought it was a really interesting picture. I think the face is it's a sort of a boyish face on that one.
I think so too.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I love old photography. I love antique photography, and I took some of the most interesting ones from my collection and put them onto merch.
Okay. This one is cute.
Yeah, just a sweet photograph. I thought that people might like them. They're a bit different than the ones that you can get traditionally in stores. So put your thoughts in, people. Put your feedback in. Say if you like them or not. If you don't like them, I'm pretty thick-skinned. I've got this series here, Hot Dudes of History. We're just attractive men. Anginate. Oh, that's an interesting one there. Sig Luanda.
I told you earlier I like this guy.
That's a great photograph. That's such a cool photograph. And the photographs appear, and all of the images appear front and back cover. Oh, thanks, Karen. I spent a lot of time working on this site, which I didn't find particularly easy to use.
No.
This is a site called Teespring. That one there, yeah. This is a site called Teespring. They make T-shirts. We'll show a couple of T-shirts. This is a bit of a soft launch, to be honest, because I loaded a lot of imagery up, only to find when I got pretty much to the end of it that my file size was ever so slightly too large. And so I really need to cut the file size down on some of the shirts, which frustrated me greatly. So I sort of just put it to the side for a bit.
Yeah, I have Halloween merch up, and I ordered my shirt in August, and I'm still waiting for them to deliver it. So I'm trying to go back and forth, but the one I ordered after that has been delivered already. So who knows?
So if anyone is on the off chance interested in a notebook or a phone case or there's yoga mats as well, those products are all pretty much good to go, and I can send you a link to them if you're interested. I just need to do more work on the T-shirts. What made you choose Teespring? That was the one that everyone seemed to be using, Georgia. And they're sort of the only one that I talked to Ange today about Teespring, and she'd mentioned a different company which I'd never heard of.
Yeah, I know Bonfire is what Vinny has used, and Crazy Lamp Lady, and some of the other like YouTube online creators. Okay,
but I put pretty much everything onto a notebook. And the notebook was just particularly easy for images. I love the olive wood one there. It looks really good.
Oh yes, I love the olive wood one too.
It's interesting. It's it's hard to find. Romeo and Julius is a great Julius is a great photo. It's hard to find stuff. You really need to be given a link to be able to go to someone's store to look at it. It's not so much as a site that you can browse really easily around. And these photos here, I just took around from my neighborhood. Gumtree bark and privet, creeping vine, and the lichen-covered volcanic rock walls. They're just photos from my neighborhood.
If anyone wants to check out Teespring, that hasn't been on there, there's a link when you go to my channel and you're on there, right underneath my banner, there's a site that says Creator Shop. Like in the link, and that'll take you to my store with my merch on there. Let's see.
Redbubble, I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, I've gotten some stickers off of there, but yeah, I need to research on the shirts. I didn't know they did that.
These ones, with Angie's help, I took photographs and I made this border. Ange made this border for me, which says Petrichor Studios on them, to make them look like old cabinet cards, which many of them actually were, but I wanted to make it sort of more uniform and to brand it somewhat. So yeah, I think it looks like an old cabinet card.
Let's see. And then you can also get the print as like just a die cut sticker where it looks like the cabinet card, which is really cool. And they have it on the notebook. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a really nice photo, that one there.
And then you can also, like if you haven't ever been on this site, most of us, we put there's different color options you see here on the right hand side. So you can see what it'll look like. Now, sometimes the shirts may vary like in intensity, but they do up to 3XL, and there's different choice and quality of shirts too. There's options for like the comfort tee and then the classic tee and like a tri-blend, which the tri-blend I believe is the more pricey option. So like you can pick out different colors. If you want like a little dusty rose color. Until there, I think a lot of people in our community would like the photos on the shirts like this.
Yeah, I just thought it was something interesting rather than just having, channel names and words and things like that. I've literally, Gaz, I've just bought some acrylic paints and a canvas. So I'm going to give it a go, but I can't draw or paint, but I'm going to give it a whirl.
Let's see. Then Nate's got his gemstones shirt and the opal.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how successful they are, to be honest, those particular ones. I don't know if I'll keep them there.
Yeah, it's like these, I think you have to add the frame back to, right? Or are you just putting some like this?
I was trying different things out.
Okay.
I think I like them better with the Petrichor Studios old cabinet card. But I'm not sure. I know people can tell me, do they like the look of the cabinet card or do they like just the photograph? They have body paint too.
Yeah, there's the one with the guys. They got a couple guys out against a motorcycle, or the trio of dudes. Three amigos. There's the buddies. I like the classic photos,
Oh, that's cool. Did a couple's painting. That's groovy.
Oh, me too, Susan. I used to be on Flickr. So I still follow some of those people because back I don't know, probably when I was like 18, it was like a huge thing. And now you're like, I thought those photos were good. Okay, let's see. It goes back that way. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone has voted one way or the other over just plain photographs, or if they like that border.
Dang, Suzanne.
I got explored 17 times. What does that mean?
On Flickr, it was kind of like you were featured. They would have, like, I think every day, like, I don't know how many, but a certain number of people, and they kind of be promoted on the front page type thing.
Oh, right, I get you. See, that little ballerina, that antique ballerina photo is
Oh,
a
yes,
favorite.
I love this
I
print.
think that's a really pretty photo.
Barbara said we like both.
Oh, great.
This is just so cute too on the pink shirt. Here's a little bit paler. Let's see. That's cute. It reminds me of like Kim Oh My Vintage, that like tones of the pink and the gray. I think.
I've wanted to learn to throw pots for a long time, and there are very few places you can learn here. They're usually night classes at colleges and things, and I wanted to go with my brother's ex, and we tried to book for this, but we thought something a bit shady was going down because the course wouldn't open when all of the bookings for it wouldn't open when all of the other courses opened, and when it did, at some strange time, it was instantly booked out. So we think that there was just a group of people who were basically monopolizing it.
Now
See,
there's
that
some of the all over print.
doesn't work. Don't like it. This one here in the top left corner is a sorry, top right corner is from my and top left corner. They're both interesting photos. This is a group of photos that I got that were sold off from the Oakland, California police stations, and these were their crash scene photographs when they went digital. And I thought this was a particularly interesting photograph. I've actually got this on my bedroom wall framed. I don't, but I just need to find the right photos. And you spelt that correctly. Can we go on to the next page? Yeah.
I know, it just keeps skipping back.
That's weird. Those two photos at the end are photos that Katie has taken, the angel and the keyboard.
And the San Marco. I like that in the black and white kind of. Let's see. Okay. There's pillows. I thought the gemstones looked pretty cool on the pillow.
I liked the olive wood. I gotta admit, I really liked the olive wood on the pillow.
Yeah.
I thought that looked really cool.
I know, because you don't see like a lot of wood grain type texture on a pillow.
You want a Murray carving? I've got a house full of Murray carvings. My father carved. Or a chisel Murray, dude. Yeah, I've got a whole place full of Murray carvings.
See, look at this purple geode one. That one's awesome.
Yeah, the amethyst geode came out pretty good.
And I like this one too, the Chan agate.
Yeah, that's a really interesting.
Let's see, there's some more wood grain. Abalone.
I think there's some mugs there as well. I don't know if that's under. Yeah, I love olive wood. It's a beautiful wood. Oh, I think I did.
Mugs in case the shirts aren't your thing. There's mugs and the stickers. Then have a mug like you that does like unique photos. Dudes of history.
Black olives or green, black olives all the way. Oh,
I like these ones, the crashed ones on the mug, like the wraparound.
The right corner is a really cool old photo. That ladder lady.
Here's the ladder ladies.
It's a really unusual photo. This. Such an unusual photo.
Nate.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Nate, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you not hear me?
Nathaniel. Well, I'll wait for Nate to come back. Oh, I just can't hear Nate.
I'm here. Can you not hear me?
Can you guys hear Nate?
Can anyone hear me? Yep, Susan says she can hear us.
Okay. I can't hear Nate at all.
Yep, people can hear me, but you can't hear me.
Well.
I'll leave the studio and I'll come back in.
Okay, try to go back out and I'll come remove myself one moment. Let me see.
Can you hear me now?
Sorry, it also lags.
Can you hear me now, Angie?
Nate?
Yeah? I'm not sure why Angela can't hear me, but I think everybody else can. Nate's talking trash about you, Angie.
This sucks. Hold on. Can you hear me? I know. Well, that's annoying. You guys can hear us, but we can't hear each other. Or maybe Nate can hear me, but I can't hear him. Okay. Let me close this.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
That's really weird because when you closed that screen, it showed me that I was muted. But when the screen was open, I wasn't muted because everyone could hear me.
Yeah, it said it wasn't muted, but then when I took it out, there was an X. Okay.
That's really weird.
Like I tried to hit the mute before because I was like, okay, is it muted and it's not showing it's muted? What the heck? It wouldn't let me go out because I think it would end the stream.
Thanks everyone for looking at my merch.
Well, thanks. It's not trash.
It's a work in progress. So any feedback you'd like to give is gratefully received. Thanks, Susan. So I think we've actually been on for more than an hour. We're only going to be on for an hour, and there's 36 people. So maybe we should wrap this question time up, unless there are any other questions.
And don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe to Nate, follow him on Instagram, follow me. And Monday, I'll be having a sale with Halen Vintage at 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe, 5 p.m. Eastern or Central. Because we're both in Central, so I don't know if I read it wrong. But I'm having a sale Monday afternoon or evening.
Is it true you were once chained to a radiator? That was
Karen.
That was what people were talking about. So yeah, Karen. Poodle sat on her dog. Thanks so much, Susan. We just wanted to come on. When is your sale, Angie, with Halen Vintage?
Oh, on Monday, and it's going to be on Halen's channel, Halen Vintage, HALYNN Vintage. I have it shared. It's on my community tab. It will be, if it's not, and I know for sure it's on my Instagram post, and I had a story. So I'll make sure I get something shared on Instagram, but it'll be Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be part of the drop sale on Thursday with Beth Carolina and Dee, and I think Jen Eds is going to be in at this time. Vintage and Vino. So a bunch of channels on Thursday night. We're going to have a drop hop sale.
Fantastic. Good night. I plan on having wonderful dreams about Nady. Oh, thanks very much, Georgia. Yeah, I put a lot of hours.
We're just leaving.
Oh, Night Fluffy. Oh, Vonnie, we just wrapped
Miss
up.
Angina, great.
Okay, Angela, thanks very much for hosting me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, and thanks for showing my upcoming merch store. It's not really quite launched yet, but I will tell people.
Yeah, we'll definitely share and promote Nate's shop when it goes live, so everybody can go and pick up some Nate merch.
Fantastic. Yep, and you stayed up.
Good job, Christy. She gets a biscuit.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks very much, Gaza. Thanks, Susan. It was fun.
Night, everybody.
Night, everyone.